Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
That's when I thought I was out. They pulled me back in.
The world's first comedy party, Skankfest NYC, is back, and we're going bigger than ever before.
Holy shit, I've done so much to make this a thing.
It was a lot.
Were you not a part of history?
This year, we have 3 full days of Skank festivities. June 21st through 23rd at the Brooklyn Bazaar in Brooklyn, New York.
They want to hear the blop blop.
Of course they want to hear the flop flops.
They want it.
Over 150 stand-up comedians and live podcasts, including the Legion of Skanks, Ari Shaffir, Dan Soder, Michael Che, Cumtown, Janine Garofalo, the Lucas Brothers, Nate Bargatze, Kurt Metzger, Jake the Snake Roberts, Doug Benson, Tony Hinchcliffe, The Goddamn Comedy Jam, Robert Kelly, Bonnie McFarlane, Rich Voss, The Anthony Cumia Show, Believe You Me with Michael Bisping, Ron Bennington, and many, many more.
It is the Legion of Skanks.
Skankfest NYC is back.
There was a fantastic universal sense that whatever we were doing was right, that we were winning.
Tickets are on sale now at skankfestnyc.com.
Conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the f*** up.
And new undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, Michael the Count Bisping.
This is Believe You Me on the Gas Digital Network.
Here we are. We're back. We're in different countries right now, but it happened. Last night, myself, Michael Bisping, setting Toronto ablaze. Michael, you're still in Toronto, though. I'm back in New York. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm very good, Lewis. You left me here. You left me here all by myself. I thought we were a team. I thought we were a duo. I thought we were a partnership. I thought we were going to come to Toronto, blaze it up, put on a hell of a show, rock everybody's worlds, and then hang out, but you left. You disappeared back to New York like I don't even exist, Lewis. You came in, you killed the crowd, and then fucked off like the rock star that you are. And I'm still here. I can't get out of this fucking place. It's freezing cold. I'm freezing my ass off. Yeah.
I did have a great time last night. If you guys came out in Toronto, thank you very much. First time we did the show, definitely some highs, definitely some lows, but overall pretty damn. I'm impressed with what you did last night. I'm impressed with the live show, sort of the unique angle that we did with the multimedia stuff, with the pictures and the videos, and it was it's really cool, and I'm excited to see where it's going to go. If you guys came out and were a part of that process, you guys literally were guinea pigs for us to experiment with last night, and I thought it really, really went well, considering that you've never done any type of stand-up or anything like that. I was super impressed.
Well, thank you very much, Lewis. And you took the words out of my mouth. For anyone that did come last night, thank you. It was a great night. We had a great time. I'll be honest, I was dreading the whole thing. I was dreading it from start to finish. I don't need this. I don't need this pressure. I'm not a fucking comedian. I don't think I am. I've got a lot of things going on. My diary is very full. My calendar is brimming. I have a lot of things to do. I don't need to be doing a one-man show, which is ultimately just putting myself up for ridicule. Do you know what I'm saying? So I was in Toronto one night, and then I was talking to somebody, and the idea got floated about. And as I said on the show last night, that's how I opened. I was like, yeah, listen, I'd had a few drinks. I'm like, yeah, sure, it's months away. And then the time creeps by, and of course I procrastinate everything. And before I know it, I had to go to fucking Toronto. And I was in Wichita, Kansas for the fights at the weekend. We'll speak about that in a little bit. So I didn't get the chance to really get any FaceTime with you. So I flew from Wichita to Toronto, 2 flights at 4 a.m. To make matters worse, the fucking clocks changed. So I lost an extra hour. So we didn't get back to the hotel till about 1 o'clock. That became 2 o'clock. Then I had to leave the room at 4. By the time I'd packed, I had about 30 minutes to nap. Went to the airport. Flew to Chicago, 3.5-hour layover in Chicago. I'm like, I don't believe this. I purposely didn't drink this weekend. Not that I drink any weekend, as you know, Lewis.
No
but
pork, no
but I don't
alcohol.
drink. Oh my God, somebody's calling the hotel room. Go away. Do you know who that is?
Who is it?
He's a friend. Let me pick up and just talk.
I'll do plugs. I'll do the plugs really quick. All right, guys, look, you love the show. Bisping in the background yelling at some stranger. Go away.
Right, that was quick.
If you guys love the show,
Love
go
our
to our
guys.
iTunes right now. Leave us a 5-star ranking, positive review. Go to our YouTube channel as well. Just search Michael Bisping Podcast or Believe You Me Podcast on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. You get the latest 15 episodes available both on iTunes and YouTube. And every episode we've ever done is available at gasdigitalnetwork.com. Subscribers get pre-release, ad-free episodes, uncensored episodes, and more. Use the promo code BYM for a 14-day free trial to the premium service at Gas Digital. So
as I was saying, before we got rudely interrupted by somebody calling the hotel room, I didn't drink because I'm not a stand-up comedian, and I was a little, I wouldn't say nervous, but there was a certain intrepidation. Do you know what I mean? Going out
nervous.
there.
You were nervous.
No, I wasn't nervous, Lewis. I don't get nervous. I wasn't nervous. I wasn't.
He said, and I quote, probably 40 times, "Hey, man, I'm really nervous." He just kept on saying it over and over again. So this isn't coming out of my ass. This is a fucking quote from Michael Bisping. I'm nervous. We could have named the night I'm nervous.
Lewis, I didn't know you were a fucking barefaced liar. You're going to stand there and speak to me. Yes, you're in another country, you know, but we're technically face to face right now, and you're gonna lie like that. No, but anyway, so I didn't drink. But you know what's worse than turning up with a hangover? Turning up with no sleep. No sleep. I couldn't even think. You came to my room and we were going to like go through the beats of the show and try and figure out what we were going to do. And I couldn't even keep a conversation with you. I don't know if you noticed, but I had no sleep and I was so tired. But yeah, everyone that came, it was great. It was good atmosphere. You were awesome as usual, Lewis.
Thanks,
For anyone
man.
that hasn't heard Lewis, nah, man, no, you're fucking hilarious. I was laughing my ass off backstage, even though I'd heard the material before. You might want to update it, Lewis. I'm just saying, you know.
I
But
just
have
released a
heard it
special.
all.
Just released a fucking special. Or not. It's not even released yet. It's coming out April 1st. I have to update my material. Nobody's even heard this material yet, Mr. Bisping. Give me a month.
It was very, very. Yeah, okay. I know. It was very, very funny. And guys, check out the special because you won't be disappointed. But yeah,
you know what I thought?
Everyone
You know what I thought
enjoyed
was
it.
pretty cool? It's if you said it before, right? You found about this a few months ago. And it's very easy at the time to go, fuck it, well, whatever, we'll do it. And you say yes, and it's sort of out of sight, out of mind. And then it comes down to it. There's no prepping for something like this. The only way you can prep for something like this is to do it. We can talk about it all fucking day long, but until you're up there and you have the rhythm and you know what it's like to be in front of the crowd, it's a very unique experience. And it just sort of shows you, it's almost symbolic of the way people should just do things in general. Every once in a while, you just got to jump in and trust your abilities. We're designed to hit goals. We're designed to especially, you know, you former UFC middleweight champion, you know, you've done some pretty incredible things in your life. You're designed to succeed at these things as a human being. I think most people are, but especially you. And I think that it just kind of goes to show you, like, sometimes you need to stop overthinking things and just do it. Just jump in, just do it. When I used to do sales, I used to train sales guys, and I used to tell people that was a great way I would close people. It was like, if somebody's on the fence, you just literally got to tell them, like, just fucking do it. Just push them over a little bit. And I think that, it was pretty cool to kind of watch that, because your natural ability and your charisma and that sort of just kind of took over, and you went into sort of this autopilot, which we were designed to go and do a great show last night, and it came together. And if you're listening to this, I'm not sucking Michael Bisping's dick. I'm hoping that I'm inspiring you to go and fucking maybe do something that you wanted to do for a little bit.
You're not sucking my dick right now?
Well, that was the end of the show last night. It was actually me filleting him for 12 full minutes on stage. It was pretty incredible.
That was backstage. That's what you got. If you bought the extra special VIP pass, you got a little sex show from me backstage.
Watching me blow Bisping.
But he's like, come backstage and watch me blow Bisping. I'm like, yes, baby. I've hit the big time, Mom. Talking of my mom, Lewis was making fun of my mother on stage last night. My mum, because obviously, as you said, we had a PowerPoint presentation, if you will. We had some pictures.
Yeah.
And I see you rapidly searching for it right now.
No, I'm not. What are you talking about?
I said to my mum, I don't have any pictures of me when I was younger, really. So I said, Mum, we need some pictures. Send through some old pictures. So my sister just sent through a ton of pictures, and then there was this one that Lewis highlighted, and he just kept talking about my mum's tits.
What are you talking
which
about?
I found very disrespectful, Lewis. My mother's 77 years old, and she's a very, very strong Catholic woman. She's good Catholic girl.
Let me point something out.
And you were breaking down her tits.
I wasn't breaking down her 77-year-old tits. I was breaking down like 34-year-old Bisping mom tits. Shannon, pull up that image that I just sent to you. Can you? I just sent you one.
This is
And
so, wrong, so weird.
Is this you as a baby, by the way? Is that who she's holding?
Yes, I think that's the idea. That's why she sent it to me. I don't know. Maybe it was one of the other kids, one of my siblings.
Who even knows? She just wanted to show.
Favorite.
She just wanted to show those rocking tits.
No, but you know what? You're right. What you said before about just do it. Is this picture coming up? Can I see it? There it is.
There it is.
Oh, I don't see it.
Bow, chicka, bow,
She looks
wow.
good.
Yes, she does. Fuck yeah, she does.
I don't know if that's me. You know, I don't think that's me. I think that's Conrad. I can tell by the. I just don't think that's a picture of me. My mum's looking good though. You're right. She just said, "I'm going to send this one because I'm looking good. I'm young. I've got a bikini on.
She's got that cleavage action. She's pushing them together.
Yeah. Mom, shame on you. If I had the shame bell, I would shame my mother right now for,
for enticing the fans.
Enticing the fans. Jesus Christ, shame on you, mother. Please hold it together. Do not send in pictures of yourself almost naked.
Put your clothes on, Mrs. Bisping. What's wrong with you?
Mrs. Bisping, get a grip. Shame on you. But no, you're right. You were saying before about just do it. You just got to do it. And it made me think of when we moved to America. We talked about it for a long time. My wife is Australian, as you know, and we were going to move to Australia. So I fought down in Australia. We moved around a little bit. We traveled around the country looking at places to live, but the training situation wasn't there. So we thought we'd move to America, and we were telling everybody, at home, we're moving to America. We're moving to Australia and all this. And they were all like, shut the fuck up. Fucking Bisping. He's Clitheroe born and bred. He's going nowhere. He's going to be living here for the rest of his life. And they're probably right. We talked about it for a long time. And I just said, listen, we either go or we stop fucking talking about it. So I said, let's book a flight right now. Let's just book it. And my wife was like, we can't do that. I said, babe, we've got the work visa. Let's just book a flight. We'll go. Guess what? Planes come both ways. So we booked a flight that day for 5 days' time, and just left it to my dad for him to send over all the furniture and all that type of stuff. By the way, don't ever do that. Because what I did with my dad, I went round the house with Post-it notes, okay? I'm like, this stuff's to keep. This is what we want sending to America. And this stuff is trash. This is shit. We don't want this shit. It's trash. Do you know what we got?
All the shit.
We got all the fucking trash. All the shit. And we spent thousands having it shipped over to America.
It's a lot.
And the day came, I'm like, oh, nice, great. Our furniture's here. We got all the stuff. And I'm unwrap the boxes.
No.
I'm like, what is this? Dad, please.
Did Rebecca just start crying?
I can't remember. And then we had this nice table that we bought. It was like, once I started doing well in the UFC, it was like our first expensive piece of furniture that we bought. That came, it was made out of marble. It was all smashed to pieces, cracked and bits broken off. It was a fucking disaster. But we did it. We moved to America and we're still here now. Kind of. I'm in Canada.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, I mean, that is, and it really is. I mean, you would have never regretted, that decision. It's a very it's very self-helpy and fucking dumb, conceive, believe, achieve, but it's like, you're never going to regret not taking that chance. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm sorry, you're always going to regret not taking that chance. You're never going to go like, shit, I really regretted moving my family to America and giving this incredible life. But if you'd be in Clitheroe right now wondering what you would have done, the experience that you guys would have had, I don't know. It's also a great lesson to teach our children. It's like, you can literally do what you want to do. We are designed to win. We're designed to, there's a reason we don't go hungry. There's a reason we pay our rent every month. Everyone we know, it's very rare that we know somebody that's starving to death or homeless, right? Even if you're really struggling, you get the bills paid. And there's a reason. It's because you're designed to hit those goals. And if you can sort of change up the way you look at your goals, I think that there's a lot of, there's just a lot to that. And there's a lot to just saying, fuck it. If you were just to drop me off anywhere in the world right now, anywhere in the world, I genuinely feel like within a month, I'd be fine. Within 3 months, I'd be running a business or trying to do something. It's just like, I'm not designed to lay down and die. And I think that's not unique to me. I think that's unique to humans.
Absolutely. I went to Thailand a couple of times for 6 weeks at a time early on in my MMA career to work on my Thai boxing. And we stayed in this suburb of Bangkok called Ram Kampeng. And they have no farang there. Farang is Thai for foreigner. right? So they have nobody speaks English. So I'm submerged in like this fucking Thai suburb of Bangkok. Nobody speaks English. It was a bit of a dump, if I'm honest. Very nice people though. But you know, you get by, and I learned how to speak a little bit of Thai, enough to get into a taxi and go, Trung Pai, Sai, Qua, that's straight on, left, right. I direct him to the gym. I knew what I was doing. You know, you got to get by. But yeah, there you go. So anyway, once again, thanks to everybody that came. It was a lot of fun last night. Oh, no, but that's what I was going to say. I lost where I was going for a second. But you were saying, I'll never regret moving to America. And you're right. You know, it was a big thing in our family life. But the downside is, and as I get older, you know, I find myself feeling like this more and more. My family are all in England. We have no family out here in America at all. And, you know, parents, they get older and unfortunately they pass away and they die, you know, and then you start thinking about what's important in life, you know, because I got no family here, you know what I mean? So, but anyway, we got lots of MMA shit to talk about. Lots and lots of MMA. There was fights at the weekend in Wichita, Kansas. I was there. There was a tornado warning, which I thought was some kind of joke because obviously Wizard of Oz, tornadoes.
Yeah. But there was also just like a major tornado right down in Alabama just very recently. There was a huge tornado, right? That killed a bunch of people.
I know.
Yeah, so you got to take it seriously now. People don't take it. I think we did touch on this in the last show. We sort of talked about that tornado, but when I get a high wind warning, I mean, I couldn't care any. High wind? Are you? I wouldn't change.
I do not alter my behavior patterns because on the weather it says, "Ooh, there's going to be a bit of high wind today." I think, okay, great. It's a good day to hang your washing out. It's going to get dry really quick.
That's like, I mean, imagine going, well, guys, we can't do this. There's high wind today. It's crazy. And I'm sure people die all the time from, you know, bricks falling off of buildings. That's the thing that happens in New York City that maybe, I'm sure it's any big city this happens in, but there'll be during the winter, like an icicle will fly off a roof and just fucking impale some fucking 7-year-old kid, and that's just the story of their life.
Matter, Lewis. That is not a laughing matter. 7-year-old dying from being impaled by an icicle, Lewis.
Did I laugh?
I mean, that's heavy, dark shit.
Did I laugh?
Well, I can see a glint in your eye. You looked, you know, you were like, you thought it was comical. That's why you mentioned it. There was probably a joke, a bit coming after it. I'm like, no, Lewis, have some limits, have some respects, okay?
You don't even know me. Do you think that I would
Susie, 7 years old, she was the fucking, you know, she was the joy of that household. She was so sweet. You know what I mean? And
little Susie actually. She was a little bit of a bitch. Let's be real. She was an only child. She was a brat. She whined and complained.
She kicked me in the shin once, the little bitch. In fact, fuck Susie. Okay?
Shame on Susie.
You're dead to me. Well, and everybody else, actually.
Susie deserved to be impaled by that icicle.
Yeah. There's a reason why the icicle fell. Okay. Anyway, all right, listen. So, guys, let's take a quick second to hear from BetDSI.com. You know the drill if you listen to the show. BetDSI.com, sportsbook betting platform, been in business for over 20 years, and everything is more fun if you put a little bit of money on it. This weekend, Jorge Masvidal taking on Darren Till. BetDSI are offering odds on there. So you want to watch the fight, you want to get involved, but you want to get a little emotionally attached. Because as I say, it's always better when you got money involved. Go to BetDSI.com. 5-star rated on all sportsbook review sites, built a history on fast payments of winnings, been in business for over 20 years. BetDSI.com are leading the game, Lewis.
Oh, yeah, they are, and I love them, man. I'm going to tell you right now, put some cash down this weekend. Darren Till, hometown hero. That's going to be a really fun fight no matter what, back and forth. You throw down $100 on that fight, it's going to change the game. You're going to be on the edge of your seat the whole time. I know I'm going to be putting some cash down on that fight. If you guys go to betdsi.com, use the promo code BYM120. First of all, that lets them know that we sent you there. They also offer a pretty amazing bonus. They give you a 60% bonus match on anything up to $1,000. So if you spend $1,000, they give you $1,600 to play with. Just an FYI, so there's no confusion. If you opt in for any bonuses that they offer, there's a rollover period. So you have to gamble a certain amount of times with that bonus cash before you can actually take it out. So just know that going into it, if you opt in for the bonus cash, you have to play a certain amount of times with it. If you don't opt in for the bonus cash, you can just put some cash down, take it out right away. So however you want to play, make sure you use that promo code BYM120. BetDSI.com is the website. Enjoy the fights.
Yes, because you made that sound very, very complicated, Lewis. But the big news is, though, remember, 60% bonus. You kind of took the sexiness out of it there by the disclaimer, but it's true. 60% bonus.
Well, can I tell you why?
BYM 120 is the code. Get involved.
Well, Mike, let me tell you what, because this is important for people to know. People were confused. People were like, oh shit, dude, is BetDSI ripping us off? They're not allowing us to take our money out. And I feel like if we didn't clarify that, I don't want our fans spending their money in a way where they're not really clear about it or they're not really sure. So we were listening to the customer complaints and we talked to BetDSI and they're completely okay with us kind of explaining the differences there. So that's why I do take that moment to do that. So it's not for the sake of being confusing, I promise. All right, where were we?
UFC Wichita, Junior Dos Santos versus Derek Lewis. I mean, that's really the only one that we want to talk about, right?
Yeah.
Did you watch it, Lewis?
I watched it live. That's the only one that I watched live. I was hanging out with my son watching the Christopher Robin movie, crying like a little bitch, me and my little boy together. It was just so sad. And then the fights were coming on. I was like, well, I can't turn off this sweet movie.
What is Christopher Robin? Who is he?
Okay, it's a Winnie the Pooh movie.
Is he an animal? He's an animal, right? Is he like a rabbit or something?
No. Christopher Robin is the little boy in Winnie the Pooh. Excuse me. And the
I look like I'm in the Bohemian Rhapsody video, don't I? Just a face. Yeah, anyway, go on. Christopher Robin, I can't wait to hear about it. This better be fucking good, Louis.
This is fucking brutal, dude. So we were... it's Winnie the Pooh, the story of Winnie the Pooh, right? And it's like a live action movie. And you think it's going to be just a cute little Winnie the Pooh movie. And turns out it's just a dark, deep, sad, dreary, British fucking, like, it's just a gloomy day of a movie. That's all it is. And it starts off with Christopher Robin leaving for boarding school, and Pooh's like, please don't ever forget me, Christopher Robin. And he's like, I'll never forget you, Pooh. And then he goes off to boarding school, and of course he fucking forgets Pooh. And he grows up, and he's an adult. And there's a scene where he starts yelling at Pooh because he's too busy. And so I look over at James, and James is, welling up with tears because it's just the most depressing movie I've ever watched. Literally not a happy moment. We're 45 minutes in the movie, not a happy moment in the movie. I look over at James. He's 6. He's starting to well up. I was like, James, it's okay if you have to cry. He's like, yeah, Christopher Robin's yelling at Winnie the Pooh, and it's just, why is he being mean? And I'm like, well, James, he grew up and he's busy and he doesn't have time to play.
James, there's some fucking dicks out there, okay? There's some people that are just dicks.
As soon as I said, I was like, as soon as people grow up and they don't really have time. And as soon as I said the word time, I started feeling a little bit of a choking in my throat. I was like, they don't have time to
why
play. I don't know, man. It was just fucking sad. Just explaining to him that he's going to grow up one day and not have time to have imagination anymore. That's the fucking saddest thing in the world. So then I'm like,
that's great. I love that though. I love that James is he's emotional. He's cute. He's a nice kid.
Yeah, he is.
Lucas, if I did this with Lucas, well, for one, he wouldn't even watch it. He'd look at me like I was retarded.
He'd call you a homo.
I was like crying, he'd be like, Dad, what are you doing? Like, he will not give me any affection. Every time I come in, like right now, I'm on the road for a month. I won't see my family for a month, right? I guarantee this is what I do every time. Now, of course, I've raised him to be like this because I bust his balls all the time. So he does it right back, which is the way I love it. It's great. But I'll walk in from every time I'm away. I walk in, I say, hey, Lucas, how you doing, buddy? Hi. I'm like, come on, scale of 1 to 10, how much have you missed me? Minus 1,000. That's what he says every single time. Minus 1,000. Fucking little shit. And then sometimes I'm like, no, Lucas, this time I'm like before, I'm going away for a month now. Can I have a hug, please? And like, he won't give me a hug. He won't give me a kiss on the cheek. He won't give me. Oh, no, seriously. Nothing. Because he thinks it's funny. And it is funny. I'm like, you little bastard. It's breaking my heart. It's making me want to cry. But it is kind of funny at the same time how much he busts my balls.
I'm leaving tomorrow to go to Jamaica for 6 days. And you would have thought that me and my son were never going to see each other again. The goodbye, the long dramatic goodbye that we gave each other today, it was like I was going on a journey for years.
I hate that. I hate the goodbyes. You know when... I mean, you live in New York City in an apartment, but you know when you have family over, they come and stay at your house. And the day comes, you know when they're leaving. They know when they're leaving. The flights are booked. It's all planned. Just go. Just get out. Can we not have the 30-minute goodbye? And then it's like saying bye a bunch of times, like the night before at the final dinner. Oh, well, it's been great to see you. You have it all then. And then the next day, it's like, oh, God, I'll be on the flight later. Well, it's great to see you. And then at the time, then at the door, you say goodbye. And then you go outside and you're waving them off as the fucking car's going down the street. It's like, listen, from now on, anyone that comes to my house, I'm just going to say bye. I'm not going to get off the couch. Okay, I'm going to continue watching whatever I'm watching on TV, right? You're welcome. You can come and stay if you want, as long as you want. And I'm very sad to see you go. But I'm not going through this whole charade, this whole pantomime where we're all fucking crying and stuff.
And it's also, we're in a different world now. We have the internet. We can literally have a conversation like this in different countries. I'm talking to you.
I have FaceTimed all day to my wife and my son. You know what I mean? It's,
What's
as
the
you
difference?
said, the world is a much smaller place these days.
I have more. I literally have more conversations with you and interactions with you than I do most of my friends in real life in New York City. How often I sit down with you for 3 to 4 hours per week, every single week, and we talk in depth. How the fuck often am I doing with this asshole that lives in New York City? It just isn't happening because we take it for granted. So yeah, it is. It is. But it's also a little different because I have an only child as well. So he's my own, he's also.
And he is a little sweetheart as well. He is like the cutest little kid ever. He really is.
He's a really nice, sweet kid. But he fell asleep. He did not watch the main event. I was going to try to get him to watch it with me, but I did. Yeah, Junior Dos Santos knocks out Derek Lewis, second round.
Did you see the spinning back kick to the stomach that Dos Santos landed, and then Lewis went over, and it looked, I wasn't sure, was he trying to play rope-a-dope? Was he genuinely hurt? I think he was hurt. He kind of doubled over, and it looked like the fight could have been close to being finished. And then as Dos Santos swarmed in for the kill, for the finish, Lewis unleashes with a massive, massive right hand, which never connected, but it was a really, really cool moment. I mean, Derek Lewis, okay, he's lost his last two. But come on, other than the Francis Ngannou fight, that guy,
that was such a bizarre fight. And it was such a bad fight that it still comes up. It's so funny. Like, it was such a bad fight that we're 3 or 4 fights later and we're still bringing up that horrible Ngannou fight. The
worst. It was the worst fight ever. It wasn't a fight. It was a staring contest. But Derek Lewis is always value for money, man. There it is. There he gets injured to the stomach. Dos Santos progresses. Then boom, throws a shot there. He just misses though.
I don't think he was playing possum. I think he got hurt. But he had that moment. He's he's reactive. There was actually. What fight am I thinking of?
Scott Smith versus Pete Sell. Scott Smith versus Pete Sell. Ultimate Fighter 4 finale. Wow. I mean, I am just an encyclopedia of mixed martial arts. Wow. I have not Googled that. I have not looked that up. I believe Scott Hands of Stone Smith was caught with a body shot. Pete Sell ran in, overzealous, ran in for the finish, and Scott Smith landed a right hand and finished the fight, and he won. So
and he would have been finished though. Yeah, in this moment,
he would to the liver shot. Smith is injured. He's hurt. He's doubling over.
Such a nice
punch.
And
he's like, well, I've got one shot left in the tank.
Boom.
Boom. There it is. And puts him out. I mean, that was a beautiful sequence. And yeah, that's what it reminded me, Lewis and Dos Santos. That's what it reminded me of. But well done to Junior Dos Santos. It really was a great performance.
Vintage performance by Junior. And he's got 3 in a row now, which is so funny. The heavyweight division, 3 in a row in the heavyweight division. You're right there. And then all of a sudden, everyone's talking about Junior Dos Santos again now.
I'm telling you, we were looking at the heavyweight rankings the other day. The heavyweight division right now is the best it's ever been in a long, long time. If you can bring up the top 15 there, please. The amount of talent in it is just unbelievable. It really is. At once upon a time, the heavyweight division was kind of a joke. And I say that with respect. There were guys that were kind of overweight. They were out of shape. They weren't particularly athletic. Yeah, of course, they're tough guys.
They don't have to be though, because when you consider if the level,
didn't have the best skill sets, and
also the level of competition, you almost fight to your competition. So if the competition isn't really there to become that good, you don't have to be as good.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, look at these names: Derek Lewis, Curtis Blades, Volkov, Alistair Overeem, Cain Velasquez, Junior Dos Santos. Stipe Miocic, Overeem, obviously the champ. He's got no fight right now. And then down the bottom, you've got Taito Avasa. I mean, the heavyweight division right now is a lot of fun. There's some fantastic talent in there. Really is. It's a lot of fun to watch. But well done to Junior Dos Santos. I would like to see him fight for a belt. I really would.
I think they're talking about him versus Ngannou as the next fighter. I think they talk shit to each other on Twitter, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, for sure. No, we spoke about that fight on the post-fight show as well. So I think that's the fight that makes sense. And if Dos Santos can get by Ngannou, which isn't going to be easy,
that's a fucking great fight. Dos Santos is right back in the talks.
In the mix
right there. Yeah, look, the heavyweight division itself it's getting exciting again. I think having the belt switch hands when there's a dominant champion, I think things get stale for a little while. You sort of see the number 2 and 3 guys have all fought on each other, and it's sort of, I think Cormier coming in and winning that belt really mix up the division in a really, really good way. I kind of want to see Stipe get his rematch, though. What was Cormier talked about that publicly, right? He won't give Stipe a rematch. What was the reason?
No. So the next fight for Cormier, from what I'm hearing, is either going to be Brock Lesnar or Stipe Miocic. I was talking about, I say from what I'm hearing. Listen, Circle of Trust. I'm going to pull that curtain right now, Lewis. I was talking to Mick Maynard, the UFC matchmaker. I was sharing a workout. I was in the gym because, that's just how I do it. I went from a 3-mile run like I normally do. I went to the gym. I'm just crushing my goals. I'm doing a little shoulders and bicep after my 3 miles. In walks Mick Maynard, just small talking it up. I said, what's going on with DC? And he said, probably Stipe or Brock Lesnar next. And to be honest, we even spoke about this to Junior Dos Santos on the post-fight show, because he wasn't talking shit, but he was kind of alluding to the fact that DC is taking an easy fight. And I said to Dos Santos, I said, listen, buddy, I said, you're right. You could form an opinion or make a statement that is somewhat negative about that. I said, but at the end of the day, this is what we're trying to do. We're as fighters, Junior. I said, we're all trying to make money. We're trying to fight for as much as possible. So you're telling me that you turn down what is on paper an easier fight for a way bigger payday? Nobody would do that. That's what we're trying to do. And DC is near the end of his career. He's almost retired. He's probably got a handful of fights left, tops 2 or 3, maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3. So, he's trying to cash in those chips, and hopefully he beats Brock Lesnar, and then he'll either take on Stipe or he'll take on Junior Dos Santos, whoever it may be.
And let's also not forget, Brock Lesnar's not an easy fight. Brock Lesnar was able to lay on top of Mark Hunt for 3 rounds. He lost to Allison, he lost to Kane. But he lost to the best in the world, and he has a skill set. He's a gigantic fucking wrestler who can get on top of you. When Frank Mir described Brock Lesnar, it was such a great way to describe it. He was like, it was like being run over by a car slowly, and you can't push this car off you. And it's just that is a scary thought. And to sit here and go like, oh, it's just an easy fight. I mean, look, I think DC keeps it standing pretty easily. I think DC's a better wrestler and obviously a way better kickboxer. But Brock Lesnar's not an easy fight for any person. If he gets on top of you, that's a really, really tough guy to get from underneath.
Oh, no, 100%. It really is, so it's not an easy fight. I mean, look at him against Shane Carwin. He weathered a storm there against Shane Carwin and then, ended up winning the fight. So he's not an easy fight. Is he one of the best mixed martial artists in the world? Does he have the best skill set? No. But is he a big fucking gigantic meathead that millions of people like to watch fight and will pay to watch him fight and will generate Daniel Cormier a lot of money? Yes, he is. So you can't blame him.
Mike, really quick, let's talk about Quip, which is a brand new sponsor on the show. I love my Quip toothbrush. If you guys don't know about Quip, it's an incredible product. I love it. They make it really, really. I wish I would have had this when I was a kid, to be honest with you. One of the most important things we do for our health every day is brushing our teeth. You got to do it. It's one of the most basic things that you do every single morning. And Quip is a better electric toothbrush created by dentists and designers, and it was designed to make brushing your teeth more simple, affordable, and even more enjoyable. Mr. Bisping, I got sensitive gums. So
so your gums may bleed, Lewis. Now here's the thing: a lot of people, when they brush their teeth, their gums may bleed, and they say, "Oh, I'm brushing too much." No. It's the opposite. You're not brushing them enough, and guess what? Quip can help with that. As you said, it's part of your basic hygiene. I mean, come on, everybody needs to brush their teeth, but you got to do it properly and for the correct amount of time. And the Quip toothbrush has a built-in 2-minute timer, which pulses every 30 seconds to remind you when to switch sides, has a helping guide and a full
even clean. And why does it do that? Well, up to 90% of people, a whopping 90%, do not brush for a full 2 minutes or even clean the teeth evenly, Lewis. And it's very, very important in this day and age. And also the good thing about this toothbrush as well, Lewis, is that brush heads are automatically delivered. What do I mean by brush heads? I mean the new spindles, thistles, whatever you call them, the bits, the bristles that you brush your teeth with, they send a new one out every 3 months.
Yeah.
Why? Because 3/4 of us use bristles that are old, worn out, or ineffective. Quip is the first electric toothbrush accepted by the American Dental Association and has thousands of verified 5-star reviews, Lewis.
It really
so you know
does.
it's good.
For people who love to shit on things on the internet, nothing gets good reviews anymore. So if you have something that has this many good reviews, you know people love it. And that's the thing. I don't keep track of when I bought my last toothbrush. I know you're supposed to replace it every 3 months. Who knows? I literally have no idea when the last time I replaced my toothbrush is. Quip takes all the guesswork out of it. You're getting a great, clean, fresh smile every single day. I have the silver metal brush, which is incredible. It makes me feel like a rock star. Every time I pick it up, I feel like I'm using this cool, amazing piece of technology. Right now, you can go right now to getquip.com/believe. That is getquip.com/believe. And the Quip starts at just $25. And if you go there, you can get your first refill pack absolutely free with your Quip electric toothbrush. Once again, that's getquip.com/believe. Go buy your toothbrush right now. You're never going to go back to another toothbrush. All right, where were we?
There's a lot going on in the world of mixed martial arts right now. Obviously, there's a big fight in London. I'll be here in Toronto for a couple of days and then fly out to London. Seems to be their yearly event in March in London. So I'm looking forward to being there, being part of the show as well. I've been to a few of the UFC fights since I retired, but now I'm going to be working the event. So it's really cool to be involved with the actual event. I've been out there being guest fighter and things like that. But as I say, this one will be a little different. I'm excited to get out there. I've got my documentary crew coming with me as well and following me around for a little while. So a couple of distractions there. But talking of distractions, what's going on with the biggest star in the world right now in terms of mixed martial arts? At the top of the show, you said there was some breaking news, Lewis. What is going on?
Let's get a little hammer fisting with Harrington action going on. Anytime there is rumors and drama outside of the octagon involving stars of the octagon, Mike Harrington is right there. He's like a TMZ reporter. That's we should send Harrington out into the field with like a camera and he has to do interviews and fucking. It's a great idea.
I'm down.
I know.
Let's do it.
All
All right. Without further ado,
what's
TMZ. Going on, Harrington?
I like that was a little sound effect you
Thanks,
did.
Man.
Dum dum dum. Harrington's dum dum dum.
MMA star Conor McGregor has been arrested for strong arm robbery in Miami Beach.
Hold on. What do you mean strong arm robbery? What does that mean? Robbery? Strong arm?
I know what strong arm robbery is. That means if you...
What?
It's a weird term, right? Strong arm robbery means if you're...
Hold on. Back up. Before you break that down and tell me what it is, because I do want to know, because I don't know what strong arm robbery is. What has he done? Harrington, continue the segment. Sorry I interrupted. What is going on? What has actually happened? Where was he? Details, my friend. Details.
The mixed martial arts fighter was arrested and charged with strong arm robbery in Miami Beach on Monday. According to WTVJ, the arrest report indicates a man attempted to take a photo with McGregor while leaving the Fontainebleau Miami Beach hotel. The report says McGregor slapped the victim's phone out of his hand. It goes on to say that McGregor allegedly stomped on the phone several times before picking it up and walking away with it. The report says the phone was valued at $1,000. McGregor was located and is charged with 1 count of strong arm robbery and 1 count of criminal mischief valued at $1,000 or more.
Okay. And when was this? Was this early hours of the morning or something? Had he had a few drinks or something?
Last night, probably. Early today.
Yeah.
It doesn't say, but I'll
who hasn't done that?
Who hasn't?
All right, well, you continue to look. The one story that I looked at said it was 5 a.m.
I mean,
I'm like, Harrington, say that. Don't make me say it. It sounds bad. He's been arrested and this and that. Somebody's taken a picture and he's got pissed off. I mean, at the end of the day, he's a massive, massive celebrity, and everywhere he goes, he's being scrutinized and filmed, and people are taking pictures. I mean, you see it all the time with big level celebrities. It must get old. It must really, really get on your nerves. Of course, you can't take law into your own hands.
Well, I've seen
it happen. Look at Kanye West outside LAX. Kanye West grabbed someone's camera and smashed it up. He never got arrested though. So this guy's
Because
I'll
the
just say
move,
this guy's a bit of a fucking dick, to press charge. Well, saying that though, hold on. But if you've just got, I just got myself a nice new iPhone 10 SR or some shit. It's big. It's bigger than the Plus. It's a big old fancy phone, and I really, really like it. But let's just say you've been out there and bought that and you didn't have much money and somebody took your phone and smashed it to bits. Okay, fair enough. You're not just going to take that, are you?
There's a couple things here. Number one, you might even be able to shed some light on something like this. The move for this guy to sue Conor McGregor for as much money as possible is to call the cops and have a police report. Simple as that. He's not, like, forget pussy, forget everything else. You have a massive superstar celebrity and a culture in America where people get sued left and right. They sue for anything. The move right there, if he had a lawyer in his ear, is, hey, dude, fucking file a police report. You're going to sue the fuck out of this guy. You're going to talk about how you're having night terrors now because Conor McGregor took your phone. You're going to talk about how you can't sleep and you can't perform sexually in the bedroom anymore. You can't go to work. That's the move. So he had to do the police report in order to set up.
If only he had some blue chew, then that wouldn't be an issue.
Exactly.
That's what the lawsuit would be thrown out on that. They'd be like, no, there's no lawsuit here. You can just take some blue chew. You don't even need a prescription. And it's got the same ingredients as Viagra and Cialis.
And you can't even defend yourself. It's Conor McGregor. He could beat the fuck out of you. So there's nothing you could do. It's like when a woman smacks you, you can just cry or scream into the air because you can't hit her back. You just punch the wall. There's nothing you can do. Conor McGregor is going to beat the shit out of you. So the only plan of action there, in every way possible.
He ain't gonna beat the
well,
shit
not
out of
you.
me, pal.
We're talking about normal people.
Yourself. The collective, the human race.
What do they call them? Civilians, right? The civilian species.
One, the collective one. Listen, at the end of the day, it's not a big deal. It really isn't. It's a petty thing. But the big picture is that when you put it all together, little things mount up to big things. I mean, I'm not sure what's going on with the Brooklyn thing. Remember, obviously, he was arrested and charged with what happened in Brooklyn.
Doesn't help.
I'm not sure. I forget. Did he get probation or something? So maybe he's still under that. Probably not. It's been a while. But then this one, as I say, small things mount up. Unfortunately, when I was younger, I had my fair few run-ins with the law. Always for the same shit. Always for going out at the weekend, drinking too much, and then getting into fights. I was never a criminal. I was never a gangster. I was never anything like that. But I certainly, got into my fair share of fights when I was younger. And you don't really feel like you're doing much wrong, but eventually, it comes back and bites you in the ass, and then they teach you a lesson. And all these small little things can mount up. Now, what's going to happen? He's gonna get bail or whatever. He's going to get charged. Did it say he's been charged? He
was probably released pretty quickly. I mean, it's not like it's not a major. No, here's the other thing is when two men. Granted, look, it's fucking Conor McGregor. He's one of the toughest men on the planet. It's a little different, but still, regardless, when two men get into a thing, I kind of go, two guys got into a thing. Let's fucking move on. I'm not like, I would never, Conor McGregor's a scumbag. No, I know what happens. I've watched it happen plenty of times. Fans get over rambunctious, MMA fans. There also is a weird thing where they want to challenge fighters in a weird way, where whether they think that the fighter won't cross that line or they want to look cool. There's a weird thing where you've told me plenty of times where people want to almost test you in a weird way. And this is probably what happened. The guy was drunk trying to test Conor. It was like, oh, I want to take a picture. And Conor was like, no, man, I don't want to take one. He was like, come on, man, don't be a fucking pussy. And Conor was like, what? Yeah. And then he grabbed his phone and snapped it and threw it. I mean, I get it. I would do the same thing if that was
No. 100%, I mean, and I'm not afflicted with the level of fame that Conor McGregor is, you know what I mean? He's a very, very recognizable, famous person, and this must be, and by the way, I'm not jumping to his defense, but just being real, he has to deal with this shit on a daily basis, and it must drive him up the fucking wall, and who knows, I read on the article there, it was 5 a.m. in the morning, you might be a bit worse for wear, you're coming in, you're a bit pissed, you don't want a picture of you looking a bit drunk at 5 a.m. all over the place. So you're like, no, buddy, I'm sorry. I'd appreciate it if we didn't do a picture. That's the thing I get a lot. A lot of people want pictures all the time, Not that I'm Conor McGregor, I'm not. But sometimes you're not fucking camera ready because that's going to go on Instagram and it's going to do the rounds and they're going to show the mates. And some days you just look like shit. You're like, you know what? I'd rather just shake your hand and have a conversation with you for 5 minutes and have a real connection. Surely that would be more worthwhile for you. But everybody wants it for the gram. It's all about Instagram. They want to get that picture.
They want to get the likes.
And he flipped. You know, he lost his fucking temper and he grabbed the phone and smashed it. It's not a big deal. It really is. You know.
And coming to Conor's defense in a weird way, because we never do that on this show. We really never, ever get Conor's back. Anytime he's in the news, we usually take the opportunity to sort of...
No. I feel like we give a balanced view. I really
agree.
do, because we're not huggers, to use the MMA term, but you know, me and Conor have had we have zero relationship at this point. We used to have a little bit of a relationship, but it's zero these days. I feel like we give a balanced view, you know, a very fair opinion. And on this occasion, listen, he probably deserved, in the cold light of day, when you break it down, probably deserved to get charged with some kind of thing, because you did take somebody's possession and smash it.
But I'm also, any man.
But I understand the emotion behind it. I understand why he did it. I understand that it gets fucking old. But unfortunately, it's like, listen, I've been sued many fucking times, and it drives me crazy. Guess what you can't do? You're not allowed. Well, you can't even fucking blink at people almost these days. Yeah. You certainly can't grab them by the throat, and you certainly can't grab them you can't grab their iPhone and smash it up. Not that I ever grabbed anybody by the throat, but you know, you can't make physical contact with somebody.
There was
you're just not allowed to do it.
I believe
which is a real fucking shame, because my life would be a lot easier if you could. If you could just fucking... let's go back to the 90s, man. I enjoyed the 90s. You had a fucking problem, you walk out, bang, shit.
I say we go back to the 1790s. Give me a fucking sword. Let's go, bitch.
God, I would love to do that. I would love to. I'm not suited for this time. I'm really not. My wife says it all the time. I'm a barbarian. I'm a throwback. This new modern PC fucking world doesn't suit me one little bit. But yeah. Oh well, Conor's in the news again. Big fucking whoop. Yeah, you know, he's always in the fucking news. He's always doing something dumb. Let's be honest. But it's not a big deal. It'll blow over. It's a storm in a teacup, as they say.
This is a great thing as it relates to the cell phone thing. It was Nick DiPaolo, I believe. I'm almost positive. He's a great comedian, Nick DiPaolo, and he was just dealing with a chick in the crowd. I don't know exactly how it got to the point. She wasn't necessarily a heckler. Maybe she got on her phone. So at one point, he took the phone from her and just dropped it in a glass of water and threw $1,000 on the table, which is such a baller fucking move. He's like, shut the fuck up, kerplunk. And then he fucking said, here, take your money, get the fuck out. Which is like, that's like, which by the way, I mean, she probably still could have had him arrested and sued. The difference is.
For sure. Like, what about all my pictures? What about all my texts?
Well, what made it strong arm robbery?
The phone is worth $1,000, but the memories, the sentiments involved in that phone are worth way more to me. That's $100,000 right there, Lewis.
What makes it strong arm robbery is literally taking it. If the guy's trying to hold it and you pull it from him, they call that strong arm robbery. So you're not assaulting him, but you're taking it from him forcefully. And that's exactly, you know, what would it be if somebody were to leave their cell phone on?
Basically, the way that I met Rebecca and pulled her, I strong-armed her. It's the same thing.
You strong-arm sexually assaulted your wife, and it's a problem. We don't talk about it on the show.
On the first night, we don't like to mention it, but I strong-arm sexually assaulted my wife the first night I met her, and I've been doing it ever since. I'm like, you will shut the fuck up.
It's just been 22 years of fear, really. She would leave if she wasn't terrified for her life.
Yeah, well, now she's just, this is reality for her now. She's accepted it. This is her reality. She knows no different. I got her when she was super young. But, oh well, Conor. Oh well, he'll learn. I mean, at the end of the day, if it was 5 a.m, he's probably had some drinks, probably had some booze, and someone's driving him crazy. You know, some people they do push it though. Some people fucking push it. They do. I've had them with the cameras filming you and stuff, and you're like, hey, all right, dude, put the camera away. What are you doing? And they won't listen and they won't learn. So, well. They did what I wanted to do. Sometimes I wish I could take someone's phone and smash it on the fucking floor. So fair play to him.
Yeah. And you know, most of Conor is a mega celebrity. We're talking about Conor is as famous as it comes right now for really any fighter or really any athlete. Like he's up there. Like Conor's a household name. So the amount of times that he doesn't do that, this is why I give Conor the benefit of the doubt. He's so famous, he has to deal with that exact situation so often. This is the first time we're hearing about him smashing a fan's cell phone. He's not that guy. He's been very famous for a long time. He's not out there smashing fan cell phones left and right, or we would have heard about this plenty of times before because he's had plenty of opportunity to do that. So I give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm assuming this guy was a dickhead.
Hold on. No, I'm not shitting on Conor here, but I'm just saying, just because somebody does one thing one time and it's the first time you hear of it, you can't say that they don't go around doing that. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, oh, he's never done it before.
I don't know. I think we would have heard.
That is not a defense that would work in court. If you went to a trial and said, "Listen, Your Honor, my client is a very, very good person. How many times has he been accused of doing this before? At a murder trial. How many times has he been accused of murder in the past? None. So
that would be something. They do look at people's past criminal records and they say this is a good person. This is guy's never been in any trouble with the law in his entire life. He's not a flight risk. You're not. So yeah, that's a very, very big part of it.
They do that afterwards. If you're found guilty and then they take into, when it comes to sentencing, they take into consideration if you can get some character references, some nice people to come and say some words for you, it could help. But this ain't going to get to that. The only implication, the only problem that it might cause for Conor, other than some bullshit press and a bit of a pain in the ass and maybe some legal fees and perhaps a frivolous lawsuit, because that's what it'll be. It'll be a frivolous lawsuit. The guy, it's just it's a cash grab. That's all it is.
He'll settle out for $40,000.
And he's got the money to do that. The only problem is that when you keep doing this and keep breaking the law and keep getting arrested, getting a visa to the United States of America isn't the easiest thing. So that might be the only issue.
There's too much money there for these little things. It's not like he's actually out there doing real, like these aren't.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. When the Fertittas owned the UFC, okay, they pulled some strings for me back in the day. We had a friend who's he's a senator or whatever the fuck that is. He's a senator, he's a congressman or whatever. Don't worry, we can get you your work visa. Don't worry about it. Didn't necessarily happen like that. Wasn't quite a smooth sailing. You know what I mean? I had to jump through many, many hoops to get into this country, to move here on a whim.
I mean, you're a monster, though. The things you were doing with Rebecca and that poor family back there, they should have never let you in.
I know. They're not even my kids. Kidnapped them. I'm like, right,
that's
you
why
come with me, I
Lucas.
like the look of you.
That's why Lucas won't hug you. I wouldn't hug you. Fucking, you're an animal. You're abusing his family.
You're strong arming us.
You're strong arm sexually assaulting the family.
Strong arm family.
So,
all right. Anyway, so that's that. Well, listen, it'll all work out. It'll all blow over for Conor.
All right, Mike. Really quick, we should talk about Native, which is such an amazing brand. I love it. Me and my chick both just switched to Native deodorants. Did you get yours yet?
I did. It came in the mail the other day. In fact, I have it here in the bathroom with me in Toronto. It smells delicious. It's very, very nice, Lewis.
Hell yeah. It's made in the USA with ingredients found in nature, such as coconut oil, shea butter, tapioca starch. Native believes that less is more. A lot of these, look at the ingredients on your deodorants. Who the hell knows what's in these things, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Lewis. The fewer ingredients, the better, if you ask me. Certainly when it comes to chemicals and things like that and man-made products, you don't really want that. You don't want to be ingesting it or putting it onto your body in any way. So the fewer, the simpler ingredients, the better, if you ask me. So you know everything that's going on in our deodorant. That's why they steer clear of aluminium, parabens, and talc, all that type of stuff. Try Native risk-free with free returns and exchanges inside the USA. I mean, I don't know what more you need. I mean, listen, unless you're a smelly bastard, you're going to want some deodorant. You want to try something new. You want to try something good. This stuff is the shit. I have it with me right now. It smells good. It's very, very nice. Very easy to apply. And as we know, it's not doing any damage to your body. And guess what? If you don't like it, they'll give you your money back. Free returns inside the USA. Buy some deodorant. Don't be a smelly bastard. Get involved with Native. Please do it. Don't smell. Lewis, tell them about the amazing offer that we have right now. It's insane. It's insane, but tell them.
If you go to nativedeodorant.com, that is NATIVE, deodorant.com, nativedeodorant.com, and use the promo code BELIEVE, you save 20% off your first purchase. 20%! Holy shit.
Wow.
Shannon, there was a moment for you to hit a sound effect or something.
Practically giving away deodorant now. I mean, this is the podcast that just keeps on giving. I mean, and this deodorant, by the way, you will like it. You will be a fan. It is good for you. It's very, very good. It smells delightful. A variety of scents, as Lewis said, and 20% off.
I will recommend the eucalyptus mint. It smells incredible. It's my favorite. Right now I'm wearing it and I love the way it smells. Shannon, when I walked in, she leaned into me and she was like, "What is that? What are you wearing?" And then she touched my thigh. I had to literally take her hand off my thigh because of the way that I smell.
So yeah, please go to nativedeodorant.com and use the promo code BELIEVE. As I said, you will get 20% off. And don't be smelly. All right, Lewis, where were we?
I'm getting on a plane in a couple of days to London. Always good to be back in jolly old England, as they call it. big fight card out there. In the main event, Masvidal taking on Till. Now, I did notice that my name is doing the rounds on some very, very low-level MMA websites about what I said about Masvidal, my comments. I don't know if you saw any of these news stories.
MMAmania.com, my favorite website. Michael Bisping extends olive branch to Jorge Masvidal. Can we just end this bullshit? And then they wrote a quote from you.
It makes me sound like such a pussy.
I hope I see him in London so we could just talk it over and say, hey, listen, can we just end this bullshit? You really do sound like a bitch here.
I know. because I can just imagine Masvidal reading this and he's like, hey, man, this motherfucker right here, he thinks he's just going to fucking say, hey, man, let's talk about this. You ripped up my flag, Holmes. Fuck that shit. Give me a quesadilla. Slap him in the face.
He's not Mexican. He's not you're doing your Speedy Gonzalez impression for Jorge Masvidal.
Andale. Yeah, no. Hey, Holmes, this fucking Bisping, man, he assaulted me in front of my family. No, but listen. My point is, I've got no problem. I don't even know Jorge Masvidal. And if he wants to carry on this beef, quote unquote, but then good for him. I'll have no part of it.
Beef enchilada, man. Beef tacos.
If he thinks it's because I'm backing down, because I'm intimidated and I'm scared and, I'm going to be face to face with him in a hotel in London, then again, you obviously don't know me, my friend. Anyone that knows me knows that is not my motivation for this. I am not quivering in my boots at the prospect of coming face to face with George Masvidal. Okay,
you're a crazy person.
Said it best.
You're a crazy person. Can I tell you why? He didn't even respond to it. You're just arguing with yourself. You're in the process of having an argument with yourself. He didn't say anything. You're just like, motherfucker, you got a problem. You think because I'm afraid of you, I'll fucking fuck you up right now. You're undoing all of the good you did.
I know, but here's the thing. I was sat at the hotel. There's a Wahlburgers next door to it. As you know, we had one yesterday. I'm sat in the Wahlburgers. I may or may not have had a few Stellas. I'm sitting there looking at my phone, and I saw said news article, and I'm reading it, and I'm thinking, this motherfucker's going to twist my words, thinking that I'm shitting my pants. And I'm like, that is not what's going on right now, okay? I wish him the best. Honestly, best of luck. And I'm looking forward to the fight with Darren Till. But it all just kind of got out of control. I don't even know the guy. I don't know him at all. But I do remember that he was sending me all kinds of bullshit messages on Instagram, private messages. And then he posted the private messages on Instagram, thinking that he was making me look bad. He just made himself look dumb. But listen, I don't think he's going to accept this olive branch now after this episode of the fucking podcast. But I wish him the best. I do. I hope he has a great performance this weekend. Obviously, I'm rooting for Darren Till, being a fellow Englishman, of course. But I see it being a really good, close, competitive fight, and may the best man win. Yeah, that's all I was trying to say. I've got no qualms with fucking Jorge Masvidal.
Yeah, I understand the sentiment. It's like at one point you have to look at negative energy in your life and go like, what is this even for? Like, so the idea is like, so I'm going to go to London this week and possibly fight a guy who I actually don't have any real problem with in the world. There's like legitimately nothing except this invented fake kind of thing about some fucking some paper flag that you ripped up that you didn't give a fuck about. It could have been an American flag. It didn't matter. It was whoever was up there that you were going to fight next.
It was a bit of fucking pantomime. There was a paper... where's he from? Cuban flag there, and he was talking shit, and I ripped it up. It wasn't like some big premeditated thing where I have a problem with Cubanos. I'm like, I'm really going to stick it to him now. I'm going to rip up a paper flag. Ha ha ha. Take that, put that in your pipe and smoke it. No, it was just like off the cuff remark. Fuck off, rip your flag up. Yeah. It turns out they don't like it when you do that, but
it's bizarre.
But you're right. I mean, I don't need that negative energy in my life anymore. Like just earlier, you met him last night, Jason. Remember Jason?
Yeah.
Very, very drunk, very annoying. He wants me to go to his house after this episode. He pissed me off last night. And then, as I said, I flew in from Wichita and I had no sleep all night. Okay. And then we get to the pub and then he fucks off. He's like, we're doing meetings tomorrow. We're doing meetings. I'm like, dude, I haven't slept in days and I've been on the road constantly. Okay. Don't call me before 12 o'clock. Because I'm having a fucking lie-in because I deserve it. Your Saturday and Sunday that you had, I didn't have that. I was traveling, I was working, I was flying, all the rest of it. He fucking messages me. We have a meeting. That's it. Not morning, bro. How you doing? Hope you're well. Hey, can you make that meeting later? So I'm like, what the fuck? So we start going back and forth and we're arguing, right? And I'm like, I don't need this in my life. I don't need this in my life. I'm like, do you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm not wasting this negative energy. I said, if we want to go around in circles, great. I said my piece. That's it. That's what I do these days, Lewis. That's all about Zen, peace, love.
Oh, I've
happiness.
experienced the Michael Bisping Zen. What it is you can talk about Michael Bisping, you'll just go around the circle, literally saying the same thing probably 100 times over and over again with varying levels of aggression, and then eventually you just both laugh and go, "What are we being idiots? Let's go get drunk." That's the way every argument goes.
No. That's how an argument goes with two people that feel they have a solid point. Yeah. Two men that feel they have a solid point, and you go around in circles, and then at some point you're just going to say, listen, we're going around in circles here, agree to disagree, whatever, shake hands, it's not a big deal. Shall we have a whiskey?
And it's also very true, because the reality is if I can only move on and do things in life with people that I see eye to eye on every issue with, then I'm not going to move anywhere in life. I'm not going to be able to do anything. Sometimes you have to go, look, everyone has different experiences. They look at different things in different ways. Whether I could think this guy's completely wrong, I'm wrong in that sense, because he has a valid perspective. Even if it's fucking stupid, whatever it is, his perspective is valid. And at one point you have to respect it and go, hey, you know what? We can still move on with this and get whatever goal we want to accomplish done. Because this issue isn't a deal breaker. This isn't going to be the thing. And it's always something stupid and little. That doesn't matter.
Oh, 100%. I totally agree. I mean, you can't see eye to eye on everything and cut off relationships just because you didn't agree on something. But I'm kind of laughing there as you're talking, because me and my wife, God bless her, we don't argue very often. We have a very good relationship. But when we do argue and I feel that I'm in the right, Rebecca fucking hates this about me. Absolutely detests it. I require an apology. Okay. And I'm like, okay, we're good. Just apologize. And that's the bit that she hates, because I insist on the apology and she won't give it. And I'm like, well, if you just you were out of line, you were out of order, that was a little bit rude. Just say sorry. That's all you got to do. And she's like, you're obsessed with an apology. You're obsessed. I'm like, yes, because if you apologize, it shows to me that we're in the wrong and I'm right. And I've won this argument. Just apologize. She will not apologize. And then sometimes these stupid little arguments, they snowball. Before you know it, I'm storming out the house. I don't
this
get
what happens
far.
to me. I'm right.
I storm. But where we live, you're in New York City. You could storm out the house or the apartment block and like go fucking get into a bar or something real fast. Yeah. I storm out my house. I'm on a gated community in the middle of fucking nowhere in a suburb. Do you know what I mean? And there isn't even a pub close by. There's nowhere to go.
Just getting attacked by mountain lions.
I'm like, right, fuck. Right, I'm going out. I storm out the house. I slam the door. I get in the car, start the fucking engine. I'm like, where am I going to go? Where am I going to go? Because if I drive somewhere and I have a beer, I'm going to have to get a taxi back. For fuck's sake. Now I've got to walk back in. Then I walk back in the house with my tail between my legs. Oh, thought you were going. I'm like, don't you stop. All you're going to do is apologize, babe. And then,
Here's my problem is every time I'm right, and then we get to a point where we're arguing, if she's wrong, I feel very justified in getting shitty. So I'll say mean things.
Yeah.
And then now I have to apologize because my offense has now become worse than the original offense. But I'm like, we wouldn't have gotten to the place where I'm calling you these names if you would have just fucking apologized in the first place. But now look, now we're here.
Yeah, no, 100%. I did that earlier with Jason, because he was like, okay, yeah, I'm sorry, I was a bit drunk last night. And I'm like, yeah. And while we're at it, and then I just start being a total cunt. Do you know what I mean? I'm not even sure if I want to be friends with you anymore. I mean, the way you blah, blah. And he's like, whoa, what the fuck? Where's this come from? Do you know, I got a little bit drunk. We're all good.
How this is how easy it is at Michael Bisping. George Masvidal, he sends an olive branch. His good friend and business partner, Jason, it's over. It's over because he texted him too early in the morning.
Exactly. Motherfucker, we got a meeting. No, we don't. All right, so Darren Till, main event, London, coming back after getting beaten by Tyron Woodley. There's going to be a lot of pressure for him, a lot of pressure. But he's the type of guy that rises to that pressure. Of course, England is a big market there, sold out in a day. A lot of people are very excited for Darren to do well. So For a lot of people, that might be a problem. But I think with someone like Darren Till, he's just gonna push him. He's gonna motivate him in the right way. You know, he certainly would have pushed himself in training camp. He was talking about his last fight against Tyron Woodley. It was all about making weight. Everybody was obsessed about that because if you remember, he missed weight against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. So, and he said the training camp became more about making weight than the actual fight, and that does happen a lot. I've fallen foul to myself to that same thing a few times. So, but this is a good fight. Two very, very good strikers. I don't think Masvidal, you know what he's like. I mean, the way he is, the backyard brawls, he's a street guy. He's a street guy. He's not going to be intimidated by
I think
Darren.
he's also got, decent wrestling. I was just watching just a funny video of him and Colby Covington to the Friends music, which is pretty, it's on our subreddit, the BYM subreddit. You guys should go follow that if you guys are on Reddit. Did you see that video?
No, I haven't seen
Pull it up,
I don't
Shannon.
go on Reddit very often.
Yeah. I go on a lot. I got a profile. I'll post stuff. If you want to tag me, is it the PR Rattlesnake? I believe it is. Yeah. It is. Yeah. So Shannon, pull up. It's Colby Covington and Jorge Masvidal. And I didn't even realize they were friends. I had no idea they were boys.
No. I had no idea either. No idea.
But they're fucking around a lot in it, and they're like wrestling around, and I don't know a fucking double leg from a single leg, really. But
Colby Covington isn't all that of a wrestler, just because Jorge Masvidal was doing okay against him in a wrestling thing, I feel like this is where you're going. You said he was doing well against Colby, so therefore he's a good wrestler.
This is in their underwear in their living room, by the way. This isn't like a real wrestling thing. This is literally.
Oh, I see.
I guess I'll take the moment as well and plug a couple other things. Skankfestnyc.com. Michael Bisping going to be coming out this year for the first time. Live Believe You Me podcast. We're going to be doing our podcast live. A lot of other fighters will be in attendance. Eddie Bravo is going to be in attendance. Mickey Gall should be hanging out this summer as well. So come to Skankfest, skankfestnyc.com. Also, rumor has it, and this is only a rumor right now, but I got a verbal confirmation that DJ Mikey B will be making an appearance and spinning.
DJ Mikey B.
We should play that fucking video.
If I'm not filming some blockbuster movie in some exotic location, if I'm not being offered millions of dollars to endorse some beauty products or the latest cologne by Versace, if I'm not doing something like that, yeah, I'll be there.
You gave me a verbal confirmation that you're going to do a DJ set on the Friday night fucking party. You don't remember these things when you tell me yes, but that's happening.
I did not say that. You asked me to DJ and I don't do hip hop.
No, I said you can do your silly dance music. Did we ever show that video on the show? It's fucking great.
No, we didn't. But we don't have to show it right now. Another time, perhaps. Okay. You know what I was going to say? Just going back to that video of Masvidal and Covington wrestling.
We found it, by the way. We have it.
What? The video, the Friends video? Go ahead. Here, you can play the right
let's
one.
take a look at this then. I do want to see this. Oh my God, dorks. This is great. Love lies your way. What is he doing? Oh my God.
All right, we got it.
This is actually a really funny video. It's really good.
Yeah, I didn't even realize they were friends. I had no idea. And see, Colby's not racist. He's hanging out with fucking Masvidal.
Yeah, I was going to say, what would Donald Trump... I mean, shouldn't be Masvidal be on the other side of the wall?
I don't know.
But if we're having it right, let's make it great again, guys. What do we want to talk about? Should we do some predictions or something for this weekend?
I mean, I guess
Leon Edwards taking on Gunnar Nelson. Does anyone care? I mean, Leon Edwards is a great fighter from the UK. He's on a very, very good win streak inside the UFC. He's got a tough fight against Gunnar Nelson. Stylistic matchup, stylistic clash, jiu-jitsu versus striker. Hopefully Leon can pull it out of the bag. Nothing against Gunnar Nelson. I like Gunnar Nelson. He's a good guy, but you got to back the Brits. You got to back your own. You know what I'm saying?
9 British fighters against 9 non-British fighters. A huge, a lot of names on the card. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. They go into these markets and they there's a lot of pride. In this country, we don't really have pride. We do, but it's not real. Like people, like if somebody rips up an American flag, nobody really gives a shit. If you would have ripped up an American flag because Brock Lesnar was in the ring, nobody's gonna be like, fucking Bisping. Like nobody really cares.
But that's because predominantly you're all American. You know what I mean? So the UFC predominantly, well, it's an American organization that takes place in America with predominantly American fighters. So it's hard. I mean, I understand why the patriotism.
Yeah.
Patriotism.
You got
it. Isn't so evident at first glance because, but then again, it is when there's an American fighting a non-American because all you hear in the arena
is the USA.
USA.
I feel like it's not real though. It's not real. I feel like people like a chant. That's it. I feel like there's 8 people in the crowd who really feel some sort of American pride, and then everyone else would just be chanting whatever the fuck everyone was chanting in that moment. I feel like in Cuba, you actually might be murdered in the streets of Cuba for ripping up that little flag. They really give a fuck.
Well, Dana White specifically told me to never go to Miami. He said, Mike, don't go to Miami. He said, do not. He said, you'll get stabbed.
Yeah.
You'll get stabbed. And now I'm like, kind of want to go to Miami.
Just see what happens.
Kind of want to see if I'll get stabbed. I've got this weird personality flaw. You tell me somewhere I can't go, I'm like, I'm going. I want to go there. And I'm putting it all over Instagram. And I'm tagging Masvidal when I'm fucking there. Come and get me. I'm ripping up flags all fucking day long.
No. Olive branch.
Yes. Sorry. Yeah, I'm going there to extend my apology to Jorge Masvidal. And to the people of Miami, I will be there, and I will be putting.
Can we please play the Cuban national anthem? This could be your official apology to Cuba. How about that? Will that be enough to?
Yes, let's do it. Official apology to. No, this is just going to be seen as like we're taking the piss when I'm deadly serious.
I know you are. Do you think
I'm deadly serious. I mean, the people of Cuba, they are fine people. They work hard. They're very, very good boxers. Hell of a wrestling team. Fantastic athletes, and they've had a very, very tough, last few hundred years. Proud people.
Do you know that? Do you know that at all?
I know nothing. I'm spitballing here.
They've had it
all up. I have no fucking idea. I don't know because there was some shit going on with Cuba and America. Okay, I know that they've had it tough. Those Cubans. Ooh. Turn it off.
All right.
That's the worst national anthem ever.
You gave it two stanzas.
God save our gracious queen. God
Sweet
save
land of liberty, of the icy
USA.
Land where my fathers died, land of the children's pride. From every mountainside, suck a dick, England.
Yeah, turn that music off, Shannon. All right, guys, you may have noticed the audio changed a little bit there because Lewis sent me a cheap, crappy, nasty microphone. So now I'm coming through the computer's built-in microphone. Built-in, Lewis.
Can I say something? He's just kidding, but nobody knows that. All they do is they're going to go like, oh, fucking piece of shit, Lewis, fucking gas digital with their cheap shit. Why would I do that? They don't understand that you're kidding. They take what you say as gospel. So I am just going to get trashed for it. It has nothing to do with me. Michael Bisping's big fucking goofy elbow. See, he elbowed his microphone like it was GSP's head. He's living in his fantasy world. He's back at the Garden, and he's elbowing the fuck out of his microphone. And that's what happened. It has nothing to do with me.
You sent me this microphone, okay? You sent it to me. It doesn't stand the test of time very well. It is not designed for a life on the road with a rugged, burly, masculine man like myself. You've got to be very ginger with it. You've got to be delicate. You've got to finger it so lightly. And it broke. And for that, I blame you. I blame you.
If you would have seen, if you watched the video version of the show, it looked like John Jones on top of Matt Hamill. That's what Mike was doing to the microphone. Just fucking 12-6, like goosh.
No. If my hand is the table and this is the mic, it was just resting on it and it bent. It bent a bit.
We'll get a new one.
The
We'll do
bit
some
is
questions.
the bit is bent. Okay, the bit is bent.
The bit is bet. We'll get some questions in right now. We're going to do another show. I'm going to Jamaica at 4 a.m, so I will not be on the other show this week, but you and Harrington and Shannon will get another show in later on in the week, which will be great. I'm very excited to get the fuck out of town.
I bet you are. That's amazing. I'm very, very jealous. I've been on flights constantly, but I've been going to Wichita and places like that. No offense, Wichita, but I guarantee it ain't goddamn Jamaica. Never been to Jamaica. Never been. I'm very jealous. You know, this time tomorrow you'll be sitting there with a joint and a red stripe, you know, with your sunglasses on, trying to pretend that you're not looking at all the other chicks by the pool.
No other chicks.
That's the best thing about sunglasses. You got to have sunglasses on. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I'm literally just staring into space, babe. I am not eyeballing these chicks as they walk around the pool. I'm staring into space.
We rented our own private villa, so there are no chicks. It's me and her on a private strip of beach. That's it.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah, she's annoying. No one's gonna be able to hear her scream. That's the point of all of this.
Oh, dearie me. But well, I hope you have a good time. You deserve it, Lewis. You've been working so hard.
I appreciate it.
You've been working so hard, man. Running the studios, flying around, doing your specials.
That's right.
Oof.
April 1st.
It's a tough
Purchase
job.
it everywhere you buy comedy specials. GasDigitalNetwork.com. Louis J. Gomez presents Louis J. Gomez. Very excited. All right.
And I will say this. You should buy it because he is very, very funny. Last night at the Great Hall, the not so great hall was anything to go by. You will enjoy it. He's very funny. All right, let's do question number 1, buddy.
Yeah, bympod@gmail.com is the email address if you guys want to send in your questions, whether they are video, audio, multimedia. The more creative you get with the questions, the more likely we're going to put them on the show. So, yeah, get your little editing skills together. It's a great little opportunity for you to promote yourself. We like to we plugged that band last week, which was very cool of us. So we're really just giving away things here on the podcast.
Giving away. We're very, very, very charitable. We like to give back to the little people, Lewis. We do. But they can give back to us by reading a question or playing the video question right now. That's what I'm waiting for. Please.
Yeah, this is a friend of the show now, Alexander Hobie.
It's Hobie again. A couple of weeks ago was funny as shit. Thank you. So my question is, do you think that Darren Till should move up to middleweight? I think he should because the weight cut seems pretty hard on him. Also, I have a proposition for Mike. So Mike, if Darren Till loses or pulls out of the fight, you buy me a beer at the British pub called the Old Ship in Fullerton. If Jorge Masvidal loses or pulls out, I'll buy you a beer. Get a drink with a believer. See you guys.
All right.
I'll be honest. I feel like I'm just getting baited into like some kind of sex slave. Like that I have to go drink with this guy now. If I don't go and drink with him, I'm a dickhead.
Well, you see what he did?
Now I have to go have a drink with this guy at the Old Ship. I'm sorry, buddy. You know, I'm a very busy man.
That was a very slick way of tricking Michael Bisping into having a drink with him, because no matter what, the end result here, he just forced it. He made it feel like it was your choice, but he just forced his way into a gay date. There's nothing wrong with that. But for a lack of a better term,
am I being Me Too'd right now?
I think you're being He Too'd. That's the proper term. And I'm pretty sure you're about to have a gay date with a man in England, which is okay. It's a new time, Mr. Bisping.
It's okay. It's definitely allowed, but I feel like I've just been manipulated into paying for the alcohol, then having oral sex with the man.
First 3 letters of manipulate.
That's what's going on.
First 3 letters of manipulate are man.
Man. And that IP. Okay. Well, all right. Well, listen. What was his question anyway? Oh, should Till go up to middleweight? Only Darren Till can answer that. Only Darren Till can answer. Let's see how he makes weight this time. Let's see how he looks. I feel that I had a detrimental effect on my career by making middleweight for so long. I shouldn't have done it. The weight cuts were far too hard. And I'll say this. Everybody should move up a weight class in the UFC. There you go. There's my answer. Everybody should fight at their own fucking weight, at their natural weight. I should have been fighting at 205. 205ers should fight at heavyweight. Welterweight should fight at middleweight. That's how it should be. This weight cutting trend, it was not even a trend, this pattern that we do, that all UFC fighters cut weight. They all cut about 20 pounds. It's ridiculous. It's not healthy. It's not good for the
There's
sport.
no reason.
It's not good for the fighter's health. There's no performance benefit to it. It's silly. So that's what I think.
Yeah, when you're talking about fighter safety, it's one of the it sticks out like a sore thumb as one of the things where you're like, we spend so much time talking about fighter safety. The referee's job is to protect the fighter, intelligently defend yourself at all times, and then at the baseline level, we make every fighter go in at the very least a measurable percentage less ready physically than they would normally be if they weren't cutting that weight. That's a weird way to make those words. I apologize. That was not right wording. No matter what, everybody that goes in, if you're cutting weight, at the very least, you are, there's a percentage of the way you would really fight taken off, no matter what, just by cutting weight. So there's no actual...
I always say it's the most bizarre thing. When you're training for a fight, you look after your body, you treat it like, like a palace or whatever. You put in all the correct nutrients. You go to bed nice and early. You get out of bed. You go for your runs. You're working out. You treat it like a temple. Your body's a temple. That's the expression I was looking for. And you really do. And you're looking for optimum performance. And you treat your body like a temple. And you give it all the correct nutrients. And as I say, you get early nights and all the rest of it. And then the day before the fight, you pretty much kill yourself. You dehydrate yourself around about 15, 20 pounds. And you put yourself through this immense trauma. That is not good for the body. I mean, I felt like death. I felt like passing out and almost dying many times making weight. And it's so counterproductive to do. It really is. But I understand because everybody does it. So therefore, you're trying to give yourself not an advantage. You're not giving yourself an advantage. You're giving yourself a level playing field. You're not fighting somebody that's 20 pounds heavier. So if everybody just said, you know what? Let's stop this weight cutting bollocks. Everybody move up a weight class and maybe bring in a cruiserweight. From light heavyweight, bring in a 225-pound division as well. And then you've got your light heavyweight, cruiserweight, heavyweight. Boom.
I think we're going to see
job done.
We're going to see that in a couple of years. I think that's going to be where it's going. Too many people are sort of having this conversation. And it would be just a very small adjustment period where everyone would go, wait a minute, hold on. But the rules are the rules, right? So it's like, as long as the rules are fair for everybody, there's nothing, who gives a shit? If everyone weighs 15 pounds heavier, there's really not much of a difference there at all. And I think we're going to see that in the future. I would love to see a day where the fighters step under the scale an hour before they're going to fight. And that's when they actually do their official weigh-ins and they have to weigh that certain amount. And didn't they start doing that in California, though? They said you had to weigh a certain percentage.
Yeah, they came up with some rule, though, where when you get to the fighter hotel on the Tuesday, you had to be within 8%. You could only be 8% over the weight limit. So it kind of did, but it kind of went away. On paper, it helps, but I don't know how strictly it was enforced.
Yeah, anyway, nobody's mentioned it.
Next question.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
A couple hard-hitting questions for you guys from Eric Dalton from Westchester. All right, Mike, who was the hardest puncher you ever faced in your career? And do you think people are naturally gifted with hard-hitting power, or is it something they work towards?
All right, well, so I guess pretty easy question. It'd have to be Dan Henderson. He hit me with that right hand at UFC 100, put me to sleep. And then in the second fight, he hit me in round 1 and hit me in round 2 and did a lot of damage. Dropped me and opened my face up, made a right bloody mess of me. And yeah, to a certain degree, some people are just born with it. I mean, Dan Henderson isn't a terrific strategic boxer. He doesn't have the best technique, but he just fucking wings it, man. He swings that thing and he believes in the power. But some people do seem to be blessed with heavy hands, and yeah, you can train it and you can work on it and you can get your technique better and you can turn your hand and twist it as you're landing the blow and all these type of things. That does improve punch power. But it's one of those weird things, you've either got a knockout shot or you haven't. And just for the record, I do, Lewis.
We were all wondering. Next question.
All right, and what's Lewis's question?
Yeah, the second. Well, there's actually a question for Shannon and a question for Lewis.
Fuck yeah.
Well, he just.
Are we attracted to each other? Yes, obviously. She can't keep her hands off me. Next question.
Is there any aspect of MMA that you believe you could beat Michael in, such as wrestling, BJJ, boxing, etc.?
Me personally?
Yes. Any aspect of martial arts?
No. Are you out of your fucking... People don't get it. They always come back to these types of questions. I'm telling you right now, I didn't even train. I was so injured. My shoulder was all fucked up. My hand was all fucked up. We fucked around.
Excuses.
No, there's no excuse. I'm telling you. If you listen to me, I'm actually making a point that about you. Because you were fucking around with me. You were like just playing because you knew I was injured. I was all fucked up. You weren't trying to go hard in any sense of the word. And it was the way that Frank Mir described Brock Lesnar, like a car slowly rolling. That's the way I can describe it. It was humbling because it made me go like, oh shit, I'm not actually a man. It fucked me up a little bit. It really was, because it made you start to go like, shit, there are men in the world who can actually just, the same way that I could just, my son James, I could take his hands and hit him with his own hands, and I could fucking flip him on his head. That's what a UFC fighter, forget just Bisping, but that's what a UFC fighter, that caliber of fighter, can do to the average person. So no, there's nothing. I think that I could probably beat him in thumb wrestling. If I distracted him, like maybe did that little sneak attack move, I can maybe beat him in thumb wrestling, but that's about it.
Pretty good thumb wrestler, bro. I don't know if you know this, but I'm very competitive.
Look, the British
wrestling.
British have no thumb wrestling. We know that.
Hey.
You have no history.
We will find out at not Ellis Mania. What is it called? Podcast Central, Skankfest. Podcast Central. Yeah, we'll find out at Skankfest. And upon that note, we will be doing another show later in the week. It's late here, Lewis. I'm wrapping it up. I'm saying goodbye.
I want to keep on going. Michael Bisping. See, I want to give you guys more content, but Michael Bisping, he wants to go party with fucking the Toronto Raptors or whatever the fuck he's going to go do right now. I would love to sit on the show for the next hour.
I'm in Toronto. Okay, I've got things to do. You got to pack for Jamaica, man. Okay,
yeah, man.
You got to get your shit together. Yeah, man. Right about now. Right. Thanks for listening to the show, rude boys. Catch you next time on the BYM, man.
Everything Irie. Yeah, man. No money, no problem. Everything good, man.